Round one. Well, Ammo, let's pass these links around, my main man. Welcome. All right.
There we go.
Fanboy Modeling School will start in just a moment. Modeling School. Welcome to Fanboy Modeling School, everybody. I am the Fat Mantis, and I am here with
your boy Steve. Real name, get no gimmicks. Your friend to the end.
Oh my God, you sound so crispy tonight. Is that a new microphone?
No, sir. It's the same microphone, just a new firmware update on my Rode Procaster. Yeah.
He's name dropping. He's name dropping.
Just keeping it classy up here. I don't know. Sometimes it's StreamYard. To be honest with you, in the immortal words of Derek, I blame it on StreamYard.
Oh, yeah, always blame it on StreamYard. Hail to the chat, and hail to you, Matt Cat, and we've got Conversations Out There, Laney O, we've got Rogue Radio, and everyone else who's joining us. Welcome to Fanboy Modeling School. We have got a big show tonight.
Huge.
Wait,
big.
You're holding up a cloudy drink. What's going
on? Cheers.
Oh, all right. Cheers.
My freshwater imported half from Miami and the other half from Jersey, making it super fog water.
So we've got a big show for you today. We're going to do the final rundown on D23 Disney Expo. We're going to talk about all the new trailers and things that we've seen and our thoughts and feelings on that. We've got to talk about the Rings of Power, the drama in the show and the drama outside of the show.
Oh, boy.
And of course, we've got to take a moment to mourn the Queen.
Yes.
He's snickering at me. He's snickering.
I'm not snickering. I completely phased out.
No, it's all right.
The Queen, R.I.P. to the Queen. Second of her name, third of her name, fourth of her name. Not sure anymore. A lot of people, obviously, in England mourning at the moment. Meghan Markle catching some shade. I don't know if you saw that. That was trending on Twitter.
Oh yeah, no, we've got to talk about that. Before we go any further, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Fight Juice Online, and of course, Fanboy Modeling School.
Yeah, and let's just take a quick second to recognize that Fanboy Modeling School. Humble beginnings, right? 29 subscribers. We've seen some growth on the channel. We've all, obviously, Mantis and I have our individual projects that we're working on, and then our super project that we're working on here. And we've been working really hard to grow our own brands, and we'll be working even harder to grow this share brand. And shout out to Fanboy Modeling School. 2 years and some change.
Oh my God. We were doing a podcast before we even had fans.
Exactly. Back
my
on that.
My own mother wouldn't show up to these.
Yeah, I deleted 1,000 people from Facebook, and they all came back like, "Hey, why'd you delete me?" I'm like, "Did you click the link?" Why delete you?
Look, I'm not asking you to comment. Just click a damn link.
Like, watch up to 20 minutes of the video. Fuck, man, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly. You could let it run in the background while you do something else.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, we're doing great things. Remember, you got to love on the voice of the Fat Mantis and the Hold Up TV network. Boom,
Hey. And real quick, shout out to DJ Sensi Star. Shout out to the Princess Bex. Obviously, we were over on Pillow Talk talking that wild shit.
Okay, so I want to tell you that episode was too spicy for even me. I think I'm like not old enough to be allowed in the room. There should be like a warning. It's like, you must be 45 because of this adult conversation.
that was an amazing episode. I had a lot of fun. We dropped some truth bombs, and I stand on everything I said. I don't retract one thing, man. Don't come to me talking about BDSM if you're not going to talk about, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, we of course are talking about Pillow Talk by Princess Bex every Sunday night over on YouTube and Clubhouse.
Just YouTube for right now.
YouTube
Actually,
right now.
So we change. I'm rebranding. You see me in there as Conversations That Matter. Obviously, that was formerly Gaming with a Dad, the very first podcast I was ever on. That took over that channel, turned into Conversations That Matter, and now I'll be turning that officially to the Hold Up TV network, where Bex will be streaming Pillow Talk. Cincy will be doing his thing as well. And it's actually going to be moving to Thursdays because Cincy will be doing Request Box on Fridays and Sundays now, which is a dope look because Sundays is a missed opportunity for some good R&B love or whatever that mad genius has.
Also, it's just a better night to chill and listen to music than actually use brain cells because by the end of Sunday, I'm dreading tomorrow. I've had, trying to chill. But you know what I gotta say? This is just an example of a true good friend, brotherhood, and like a really great guy. His name is Fat Mantis.
Yes.
And I used to even listen to you on Talking with a Dad, even though that wasn't a very good podcast. So that just goes to show how you can support someone you love, guys. But tuning into a podcast you don't even want to listen to.
It started off great, man, and then it just went to it went where it went. Everyone's got their beginnings. Shout out to the old app that we do not mention in the Fat Mantis's presence. We were all doing guerrilla shit back on that platform, man. Now that I think about it, those sons of bitches got radio quality content from a handful of us. Yourself, Laney, me, Derek, obviously the combined effort of men supporting men, a bunch of other people. We were bringing, there was a point where we had that shit so locked in. There was schedules, you know what I'm saying? Like people were going on at certain times. Monday through Friday, you had somewhere to chill over on that other app. And then we tried to resuscitate, breathe life.
We're not dead yet. We're limping and we're crawling. But
no, actually, hey man, I gotta take it, man. I gotta take every little bit of happiness. I just crossed the 232 threshold over on YouTube for a channel that was stuck at 141. Oh no, I'm sorry, 121 for like a year straight. This type of growth, I owe it all to the people that are supporting and all you people that love all that Irv Gotti shit. Thank you.
Yeah, it should really be called Irv Gotti News. Matt wants to know what channel Bax's show is on.
Pillow Talk is on. If you follow Conversations That Matter, that name is going to change to the Hold Up TV network. That's the channel it's going to be on. Bex is humble enough to let me and Cincy come crash her ladies party. We're just trying to, and I'm going to say this again, right? I'm going to hold Bex to this. The most honest conversation that this show has ever had is while Cincy and I have been on it. Because once she starts getting the ladies up, they're going to start lying and shit. And
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to
not being truthful about things. But again, no BDSM if you're not down for the.
I love that Christian slang is making weird noises instead of just saying like grimy shit. Hannah says, I'm going to try to be more present with y'all. I'm sorry I've been active. It's okay. We are as active as we can be. You're not expected to be super active. You can't, just the mere fact that you show up, you drop a like, something like that means the ton of us. So thank you all for being
we appreciate you. And shout out to you, Hannah, for your dope streams over there on TikTok, giving us the beautiful vocals and sometimes some character play. I forget the character that you do. I want to say Dolores or but
Diane. It's Diane.
Diane is amazing.
We should have her on as a guest of Fanboy one day.
Absolutely. I want to get into Mothership Monday real quick. I was talking to you in the back room, in the green room before we came on. Great show. You guys started talking to demonology and stuff like that. I'm a person that does not tempt fate, as you know. I am a man that believes in the supernatural, right? And I believe that more times that not the things that we encounter that we think are kind spirits are evil spirits waiting to suck your soul. And then you and Lainey were going back and forth in a very friendly way in regards to demonic possession. And I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there.
Oh, please.
So if you are someone that believes that you are a Christian, technically you cannot be possessed. You can be oppressed. You cannot be possessed, though.
Okay. Thank you for chiming in, Pastor Steve. Pastor, hold up. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you for that love.
I'm just going off of the source material. I know you like to wing it sometimes. If it was up to Mantis, he'd add a whole nother book in the Bible.
I'm just saying, plenty of card-carrying Christians have been possessed before.
You couldn't name 2.
You're right. I'm gonna look it up after the stream. But yeah. But we're not here to talk about demons. That's a Mothership Monday thing.
It was a great show.
Thank you. It was
happy
a good
birthday,
time.
Gray Winthrop.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Gray. Yeah, thank you for appearing. We are going. What we really need to be. Let's start off with Meghan Markle. Let's start off with the Queen. So
right.
I have been greatly affected by the loss of the Queen. I love that old lady.
Could you explain how you were greatly affected by this passing of this human being that held power and sway over colonized countries for years? Can you explain that to me?
I always had like a general. I don't know. I thought she was all right, but then I watched the show The Crown.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's the story. It's a beautiful, well-told, amazing show about the life of the Queen from her age 25, from watching her father die and being crowned queen in a sexist world,
right?
Fighting against the misogynists while she tries to maintain the royal family, which in a world that wants to get rid of royal families. And it's riveting. She really was a great woman. She was a great woman. I'm not saying, here's what I'm saying. I just want to let it be known. Okay. I'm not saying she's Mother Teresa. I'm just saying she was a swell chick. Boom.
I'm deeply apologetic for your loss and how this has impacted you as a Haitian. I could see how her treatment of your people, the aid that she showed your country of origin.
Whoa. Okay, so
hold on for a second. No, let me try again. I'll get it right this time. Historically, England has been a friend to France.
No, they always have hostilities.
I'm bombing at this. They
always had hostilities with France. Haiti was a colony to France. As a matter of fact, if you want to talk about colonial crimes, even though I defend the French a lot, the French are evil.
100%.
You know what happened at the end of the revolution? A couple years afterwards, France was like, "We're going to come back with our warships," and then France was like, and Haiti was like, "What do we have to do to stop this?" And they say, "We're going to tax you every month," called freedom tax, basically. Right. And they said, "Yes." And still today, Haiti pays France a ridiculous amount of money every year just to stay free.
Yeah, man.
So that's evil. The Queen's done nothing but eat her crumpets. You know what I'm saying? And like,
am I fuzzy or are my glasses dirty?
You're not fuzzy now. You were fuzzy before when you started this endeavor.
Okay. So yeah, long live the Queen. God rest the Queen. Long live the King. Charles is finally up to bat. We're gonna see what he can do in the figurehead position, which he is now the leader of. I want to be respectful to the country of England and show them as much respect that they've shown that poor light-skinned mulatto woman, Meghan Markle, loyal subject to the crown.
I had a fight. I actually had a fight with Gray on Twitter about this the other day. Did you see that?
No.
Of course. So I'm just minding my own business, and I decide to do like an innocent tweet, and I say, "Poor Meghan Markle. She can't figure out a way to make today all about herself." And of course, Gray dives in, starts attacking me. And the idea, and basically, she wanted to know why I don't have her back. Like, why do I have like these white people over hers? And so here's really what it comes down to.
Okay.
I believe this. She's a narc. Meghan Markle is a narc. She narked to the press about the royal family being like mean to her. And here's the thing, I don't support narcs. Here's what I'm saying. Unless somebody physically or sexually abuses you, you should not narc. You deal with it in a different way. In the normal social parameters. You don't go to the teacher and go, the royal family's not being nice to me.
Okay. All right. Let me test that a little bit. So have you heard of a little bit of American history called Watergate?
Yeah.
So are you saying
a lot of them? Here's what I'm saying. You're right. I don't believe in narking.
I don't believe in whistleblowing at all.
Unless like something really fucked up is happening.
Okay.
And like I said, remember my first criteria were physical or sexual stuff?
Yeah.
If you're covering that up, then yes, whistleblow. But if somebody's like, you wouldn't believe the way army sergeants treat their drill sergeants treat their classes. I don't give a fuck if you're getting yelled at all day. I really do not care if a rich Canadian woman who happens to be a mulatto, who's an actress, so she's rich and wealthy, she's on television, is somehow being mistreated by the royal family she married into. That's just stupid.
In the world you envision, are there HR departments?
Yo, HR is the problem with our world. We have too much HR. We need to get rid of that. I'm serious because, being a jerk boss is just a motivational tool.
Yeah, it's
right.
You're saying a lot right now. I can see. I want everyone to earmark this on the Lord's Day of September 12th. Oh, by the way, before we go any further, we're talking about the Queen. Let's talk about our own country in remembrance of 9/11.
Yeah. No, I mean, very intense.
20 plus. Yeah, hard to believe, right? Hard to believe. So
still hard to believe.
I just wanted to throw that out there. We don't have to go down.
Some young people listening to this cast, or actually some young people who refuse to listen to this cast, and they don't remember a world without 9/11. Me and you were young when 9/11 happened, but we remembered it. We were pissed as fuck when it happened, and but it still feels like yesterday. It still feels like it's crazy that it's over 20 years.
Yeah, 100%. And remembering that New York wasn't the only place impacted. But all right, back to the Queen. So listen, I know that an interesting take on this whole thing has been from the Caribbean-based people, obviously Jamaica and places of that nature, talking about their likes or woes in regards to the Queen. I will say this. It's hard for anyone to be a perfect leader, right? No, there's no such thing, right? Even the people you would hold up in the highest regards, you dig hard enough, you dig long enough, you're going to find some decision that they made that you can possibly think was the wrong decision. I have no vested interest in England other than they are our allies, and I think we should treat them accordingly. I want to keep our trade routes open with them and flights and everything open with England. So I'm sorry that they lost their monarch, and we'll see what Charles is going to do when he steps in there. I think a lot of people don't understand the dynamic of power when it comes to the monarchy. They're not really able to do anything. I know they have a veto vote. That they do have.
Yes.
It's more ceremonial. They are, the figureheads, and they do remind the country of a time when it was great. Right?
Yes. That's actually putting it excellently. That's what they're there for.
Right.
Just like, remember when we were awesome? Remember when we used to rule the world? This is what we represent, even though they don't rule the world. They don't even rule Europe.
No, no, they don't, man. When you got the Italian government talking down to you, man. Whew.
Yeah. Oh, you fall far. So I don't. Here's what it is. The whole idea with the king, or for starters, I don't think they like Charles. Let me take that back. I'm not going to speak for all English people. I think they have less fond memories of him than his mother. And like people put it like this. I feel like I lost my grandmother when she died. I dig that. No one's going to feel that way about this dude.
So time heals all wounds, and good PR does, right? And when your brother's a class A F up and accused of some horrible crimes, you come out looking like a champion, right? And
like, at least I'm not Andrew.
Yeah, and secretly, here's something that he's been doing all the long while his mother was still alive. He was doing a lot of humane activity work, and a lot of green work, and not just the type of stuff you just do for press. Because the reason you don't know about this was because he was actually involved in this stuff. He was heavily involved in agriculture and redevelopment in Africa. Okay, let me dial that back. Not heavily. Someone's going to call me out on that. I'm going to say he was involved.
Right.
Form, and he's definitely a friend to animals. I didn't know if you know that about him, but he's very concerned about.
He's like a vegan or something. I
believe so, but the vast extinction of certain species, and so time heals all wounds, right? The thing that happened, him cheating on Princess Diana should never be brushed under the rug. In fact, he should step into that, because the one thing that people really, really enjoy is accountability, right? If you are accountable for your mistakes, and you and the queen, what is the name that they have for his mistress that is now the queen?
She's a queen consort.
Queen consort, right?
Which we all know consort is not always used favorably in the
like, not queen apparent. We know that. It just lean into it, and obviously it doesn't help that he has a son that's dutiful and unloving, and who people are actually looking to. So I think they're going to be okay, man. I think people will allow that to go. But let's get back to the bullshit, man. We've been talking too nice here. Meghan Markle, man, out there shaking hands with these limey bastards, man. And one woman dared to turn up her nose as if her minuscule life means anything, as if she couldn't be marched off to the processing units at the beck and whim of the most powerful mulatto in the world,
right?
Obama. Fuck is that about?
So I don't know what the hell it is. I mean, I feel like British people just are very, very sensitive about the royals. Right. I bet you me and you have probably just said 50 things that would get us lynched in England for whatever we've said. Whatever, you could say something nice about the king or queen, and they're take offense because they're that uptight about it. Look, here's what I'm saying. Meghan Markle comes in, she marries the son, convinces the guy to leave the royal life, but they get paid off. They get a ton of money on their way out the door. She seems like not a gold digger. She's an opportunist. And I can kind of see why people were aggravated. However, I think it is stupid for anyone to actively hate on her. I was shooting her a little jab. I was being cute. If she walked in the room, I'd be like, what up? What up, Megs?
If she was single, you'd hit on her for sure. And here's the next thing. What's that one old crotchety Good Day London or Good Day England guy that apparently went out on a date with her and she shot him down, and then you can't throw salt on someone.
He ended his career, you know that, right?
Well, she didn't end his career. He
ended his own career by constantly fucking with her.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
He continued because he was a news anchor, and he continued to diss her on his show. And people finally called it out. They say, yo, you went out with her and then she dissed you and stopped dating you. And it's like, and you're just going to constantly keep hammering on her. And then they called this out, and that ended up making him have to step down from his position. Oh, man. So she is the most powerful mulatto in all the land. She's my queen mulatto, actually.
Her and Obama meet up, and you guys
having secret meetings, drinking domestic beer.
Meghan Markle is an unlikable person. I guess I look. All I know her from prior to this was that show Suits. Right, that's where I know her from. She was on USA, and
she was kind of. She's not super uppity, but she's kind of uppity.
Listen, don't hate the player, hate the game, man. So we all want to blame her for leaving, but he fits by your definition. He's a simp, or he's a man that loves his wife. And we got to settle on this. Is he a man that loves his wife, or is he a simp? Now, remember, he's dealing with past traumas. His mother went through the same thing. Let's not let our short memories. Remember,
right?
Princess Diana went through a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
People.
Here's the thing. I do think he's a simp. And I absolutely do think he's a simp, and because if you look at all the magazine covers, it's her first and him second, and he's just like there to hold her purse, and he's like, "What do you need, dear?" And they're like, and he's about to say something like, "Hold it, let's hear what Meghan Markle has to say." She clearly wears the pants, and therefore he is a simp.
Well, she wears the pantsuit, and it's a nice, classy Gucci pantsuit. So that's a different thing.
I mean, what do you think? You think he's just a married man, or he's?
I think if I'm looking at it, I'm trying to be responsible and look at it from like a clinical, psychological standpoint. I think that he's a young man that has always done his own thing. Let's not forget, of the two sons, who is the actual war hero? And don't give me that bullshit like he had an honorary role. That man snuck off to war under a false pretense to fly choppers. Like, he's a real warrior. Like, he's a man's man. You know what I mean? Like, his brother, on the other hand, is a balding, feeble.
Yeah, his brother played those cards where he's just like, I got a military title, and all I have to do is like hide behind the lines and eat buffet all day. And they're like, yeah, he's like, good.
Yeah, he's the second son, and just like any good second son, nothing was given to him. He had to take it and make it.
That's all game. That's the whole moral of Game of Thrones. When you're a second son, you're not getting fed. The older kids are taking your food, and you have to fight for every little fucking
fight
thing.
for it. That's how I raised my three boys, and I tell the baby, I'm like, and really, you're the most treacherous one, because while these two are fighting, you swoop in, assassinate them, wipe out their entire family, and then you become the most evil person ever ruled.
He took your juice box. You hit him in the nose.
So I want to get off of this because this is no fun. I know we can't talk about Game of Thrones, but I told you that I was going to be honest about something since we're going to talk about Rings of Power. So yes, let me set the groundwork. I am enjoying Game of Thrones. I have no qualms with it, right? If Gray was here, I would have the obvious qualms that she would have. I thought there was a scene in there where I was like, okay, we're getting back to the formula that Game of Thrones follows. And I said this to you privately, and I'll say it publicly. Here is why, Steve, the Hold Up TV, not Fanboy Modeling School, why I am enjoying Rings of Power slightly more than Game of Thrones. I'm here for high fantasy, right? And right now, watching Game of Thrones, I realize that Game of Thrones is being Game of Thrones, which is not really being a high fantasy show, right? It is drama. It's a soap opera pretending to be high fantasy. And it has a certain type of story that it wants to tell based off of the imagination of the creator. It's about intrigue, incest, power struggles, all those things, and I'm here for it. I was here for it in the original show as well, up until the point where I realized that story can only be told so many times before it cannibalizes itself. And that's why he hasn't written that last book yet, right? Because where do you go after two people who are related having sex, right? There's nowhere else to go. So you redo it again in this show. The reason, and I know Matt's probably like, what? And the reason I'm enjoying Rings of Power, man, is this is the closest I'm going to get to the Silmarillion in representation. And I have to tell you, honestly, man, after a slow start with episode 1 and 2, which I enjoyed, this last episode did not disappoint for me. Yes, it was more universe building. Yes, it was more character development. Yes, there's a ton of characters. But someone explain to me how that's different than the book, right?
Or the movies. The movies are super
There's a ton of characters in the book. You have to be reading at an Oxford level to comprehend a lot of the things that Tolkien is writing about in there. There are entire schools dedicated to translating and interpreting this book. So let me tell you why I enjoyed this episode so much, man. That beautiful Puerto Rican elf finally got the rep. And you and I had thrown the ball back and forth on this one, right? So I'm not here for the culture wars. I'm not going to do any of that stuff tonight. But we do have to address the fact that if you say one person's a Mary Sue, then the criteria of a Mary Sue has to apply across the board, right? We got to be consistent, right? If that's my definition, I apply it to everyone that fits that definition. Would you agree?
Yes. Yeah.
So Legolas would fit that definition, right?
He's a Gary Stu.
No evidence in the books. There's no evidence in the movies that Legolas should be able to slide down some steps on a fighting Uruk-hai's shield, have that thing defy physics like he's fucking Captain America, and have it fly into someone's throat while he's lopping off arrows. I'm here for the fantasy bullshit, man. And the elves flipping around with chains, using them like wushu warriors, murking albino orcs. I had a good time. I had a good time.
So yeah, no, I like that all the warriors are all fighting at like a super heroic level. I'm glad that it's not just Galadriel.
Right.
I do. You are right. I like I love how you call Puerto Rican elf. I just call him hot elf. Hot elf. Matt is like, he turns out to be really manly. He's able to fight real well.
Yeah.
It was fun. I loved watching the orcs like try to like abuse them. The water scene, man, damn.
Amazing. That was some straight out of fucking what's a good Vietnam movie? What's something that people would recognize? Not Full Metal Jacket. What's the other one? Deer Hunter. The type of tension when someone's in an internment camp or a prison camp where you're just like,
yeah. Deer Hunter is where they're forced to play Russian roulette, and that was
yeah. Very, very good stuff.
Matt says Steve is driving me mental.
No, Matt, stay with me. Stay with me, Matt.
Yeah, I like that fighting, but you know what? I actually really do like Numenor. The Numenor.
Oh, okay. So
I actually like this being added. I was enjoying the time on the thing. I like that they're also, another thing I gotta say, everyone says Galadriel is a Mary Sue. They are putting her down a peg.
Yeah.
She's like, I am a high elf. And they're like, bitch, you in Numenor now.
So can we talk about Numenor? I'm sure this will bring Matt back in, man. If you want to ever do, like, you watch videos on YouTube, you can watch Nerd of the Rings, and he does some great commentary on Tolkien's work, man. But the Silmarillion, everything in the Second Age, First Age, Second Age. Morgoth is an amazing character, right? Mm-hmm. Amazing. He is a true Dark Lord. But Sauron is truly Satan, in my opinion. Because, and no spoilers, I'm not going to spoil it, but it should be called the Tragic Tale of Numenor. That's that.
Right, they don't want most. Here's what it is. This show is made for normies, which means most people don't know where this is headed.
Yeah, they don't.
They're not going to reveal that. They can't reveal that.
It was amazing, but I love the my usual thing. Love the cinematography. I see where the $1 billion went. Love the tension of when let's just call her G. That's her new American name. When they show up to Numenor with Isildur's father, obviously you have some original characters jumping off in this series. Her partner in crime is not in the books, but I think I have a good idea of where they're taking his story.
Are you saying Halbrand?
Halbrand is an original character made up by Amazon, but I think we're all speculating. The people who've read the source material, I think they're going to give us an origin story. And I want to see how people react to a potential origin story for one of the most, not underwhelming characters, but underdeveloped characters in the Tolkien lore. But I'm not going to say it.
Oh,
the Witch King.
No, check this out, Matt. So Matt, I got to address this. So Matt's like, but do you guys like bad delivery, and cheap ass wire work? And so, like I'm saying, it's funny that people are drawing the line. They're like, look at this very expensive, beautifully well crafted show. And they're nitpicking that like they have bad line delivery or bad wire work, as if every other fucking show doesn't have it. Like Superman and Lois doesn't have bad line delivery. Half of them are not actors; they're fucking idiots. Wait. They got off the street. So how is this acting any worse than anything else you see anyway?
I'll take it back. And Matt, this is where all the love. Hail Matt! Make sure you support.
We
that
love you, Matt. But I'm just saying.
So do you remember in the Two Towers when they freed the king of Rohan and then they're making their way to Helm's Deep and they're encountered by some orcs on some wargs? And Legolas is up on the hill, epic shot. He's shooting arrows off straight up in the air, tagging him. Horses come up behind him, and he does something that I didn't know the human or elf body was capable of doing. He grabs the horse as it runs by and swings back this way and then back up this way. And that was
I remember that crazy.
The worst CGI next to Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, when he's crawling up the wall for the first time.
The part you bring up in Return of the King when he's sliding down the beast's trunk while he's killing everybody.
That's Two Towers.
Horrible.
Oh yeah, that's in Return of the King. Yes, that's horrible. So there's some things. Matt says that Superman and Lois is up.
I guess he showed me. I'm just saying all these things don't have not everything is perfect in every show, and I just don't see why this has to have that.
But here's another reason I enjoy this, man. I'm really along for the ride, man, because I've just been going back and looking at the source material a lot, man. And there's so much stuff that Tolkien didn't get to develop, right? And even though the rights have been brought up by this mysterious gaming company, which I assume you have some stake in because you're usually at the cabal of evil, sitting at the table with these people.
Let them fight. I just make more money.
Make the actors beautiful. It says here that this is a fat person. There are no fat people in my world. I'm looking at
only
this,
rich and poor, my friend. Only rich and poor.
I'm looking at it, man, and when they arrived to Numenor, and they did accurately represent the way the Numenorians have felt about the Eldar, aka the elves, at this point. They had broken all ties. They've just compacted a lot of story into an hour and condensed the time frame. But I really enjoyed the ride, man. Like I feel like we're moving in the right direction, and the tunneling, even the tension of having an elf, a woodland elf, cut down a tree.
Oh, that was great. I freaking love that.
It's like making a vegan eat the cow while it's alive.
Yes. And like you saw, like he's like, I'll do it, and he goes to it, and he has like a tear in his eye. It's like, ah, ah. And it's like the horror of being a prisoner. It's freaking great. I love it. And it is silly. If you step back out of the fantasy realm, stop being a fantasy fan for a second. It is silly. You're like, the poor elf is crying because he has to cut down a tree. But if you put yourself into the situation, it's brilliant.
You know what? It's brilliant. You know what I really would like to see? Oh, wait.
The sea is always right, Matt.
The sea is always right.
And it brought me to her. I see Matt is watching. I love it that Matt's hating, but he's hate watching it. Wait, hold on. By the way, I bet you Ryan Kinnell and Geeks and Gamers and The Quartering and Lauren Shen and Brett Cooper, I bet you they are all watching every week and still hating on it. And they're like, this is Nerdrotic. They're all watching, and then they're like, pretend they didn't see it. And they're like, I hear it's stupid. And they're really watching Lord of the Rings.
Here's the crazy thing. The guy that hosts Nerd of the Rings, he actually interviewed it should have happened last night or it happened today. He interviewed the actor that's portraying Isildur's dad. And I was like, fuck, how the hell did you pull that off? I know you didn't bump into this dude at Comic-Con like a year ago and say, hey, come on my YouTube show. It's absolutely amazing. And I have found that there are true diehard Tolkien fans that enjoy this the same way I enjoy the MCU, right? I know the MCU is not an accurate representation of what's happening in the comics. The Civil War that we got from the MCU is not Civil War.
I'm hating on Secret Invasion because that is not Secret Invasion. That's not the comic book Secret Invasion.
It can't be. Could you imagine the money it would cost?
Because they need all these great heroes in there.
Yeah, and to build that story, they would have had to start this show like last year for us to be where we need to be by issue 2.
Yeah, exactly. I hear you, and I understand the diehards. Like I said, I have a real hard on for the whole fucking Hawkeye situation where I'm like, everything the character MCU Hawkeye does, I nitpick because I'm like, this is not him. This enrages me. Every time you have him on screen, I'm angrier and angrier. Like, this is pissing me off. I'm like, I'm going to kill you, Feige. I'm going to kill you. So I understand fans have the right to be that way. I dig it. I don't really want to super criticize everyone who does that. I dig that. But just in my own defense, the other day I got a comment from one of my fans on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, well, I'm glad you're watching it, but this is some SJW shit. I'm not going to watch this show. He decided to take his time. I love how people decide to take their time out of their day to leave a comment about how they like, I'm not going to participate in something. It's like, I didn't need to hear it. Like, it doesn't really matter.
I get it. You know, it's like when people say they're leaving a Facebook group, right?
I'm leaving. So, and I just was like, he's like, this is SJW stuff. And I was like, that's fine. I understand. Here's what it is. I understand why people, also another thing I would say, not just being a true fan and source material being corrupted, I understand people hating the SJW forced diversity. 100%, I dig it.
100%. But and while understanding that and being, I want to be consistent. I respect the fandom, right? Actually, fuck that fandom shit. I respect the fan base, right? I understand how important these works are. I would say that I am a level 3 Tolkien appreciator, right? I am. You know it. I'm deep into it. When we were growing up and we were going to see Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, I was always more pumped for Lord of the Rings than the hippies with the lightsabers running around chasing the bad actor trying to do shit. And who gives a fuck if Dooku kills Yaddle? I don't give a fuck. Do you?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, look at Star Wars. If we were to judge Star Wars every time they had bad line readings, that would oh man, it would never end, right?
Matt says, I swear, if you guys say you like the Harfoots, I might have to leave. Well, Matt, here's the thing.
Ooh.
Nobody strays offline, Matt, and no one walks alone. And no one gets left behind.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my opening joke on my Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power review, but the ultimate one is I was like, so the Meteorian came down here to teach the Harfoots about the magic of friendship.
Yes,
because that is how cheesy their storyline was this week.
Yo, these proto fucking hobbits are gangsters. They're like remembering people. He got stuck by a river. We could have easily gone back for him, but we left that mother.
That's the thing. I keep thinking, I'm like, why didn't you just go help your boy? Why did you left him to die? Like, you sick fucks. They're on endless migration. Why don't you not migrate if so many people die in migration? Why don't you just chill? Here's what we all know where this is headed, right? It is obvious that the series is going to end with them finding the Shire and be like, "This is our home." Finally found a home. But like, but yo, I'm not going to lie. I got a little misty-eyed because Hot Hobbit's best friend is Proudfellow. Is her last name?
Her whole family got wiped out in that.
Yeah, and they were listing the Proudfellows, and I see her, and I was like, I got a little misty-eyed. I was like, oh shit, that chick's an orphan.
Well, the ancient, as I like to call him, his wife is the one that got killed by the wolf. Remember?
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. So that
was heartbreaking when they were having memoriams for everyone who died. But you know why I call her Hot Hobbit, right?
I assume because she looks attractive.
Yeah, the actual actress is super smoking when she's not dressed up like a hobbit.
Like a short freak. And no, Matt, the Hardfoots are my least favorite part of the show.
They're definitely the least favorite, yeah.
Just like the Hobbits were my least favorite part of the original trilogy in the books, but I do understand that they were a plot device representing purity. Now, these people are obviously cannibals. I'm sure they're eating the left.
Once the winter comes and they're traveling, they're going to start eating each other. And I'm there for it.
Bro, have we never addressed the murderous nature of hobbits? Like, they're so peaceful in the Shire. You take them out the Shire, and you give them a couple of blades, these motherfuckers are ready to go to war.
Like a caged animal.
They're like repressed Catholic kids. Once they
after they leave that fancy school of theirs. No, I tell you, it's another great metaphor for Christianity. We're animals at the end of the day, and then take us out of our environment, and we're hard.
I'm going to say something that I think Matt would agree with, right? If they were going to give me a story, right, and they didn't want to do prequel, if they weren't going to go hard Silmarillion, like they wasn't going to go deep Silmarillion, did you know that Tolkien actually created an apocalypse storyline for his universe?
I did not.
Yeah, there's actually
did he actually publish it?
No, he didn't publish it. It's like, I believe it's Matt, help me out here. I think it's something that was like in pre-writings. It's a prophecy where basically Morgoth, the original Dark Lord, at the end of time, this thing that they reference many times in the books and the movies, he comes back for the final battle. And I would be very interested in seeing that, right? I would be interested in seeing what the return of the Dark Lord could be. So, but while we're talking about Dark Lords, Adar, the new
well, they're trying to trick us into thinking he's Sauron, and there's no way he's Sauron.
No, he's not Sauron.
There's no way Sauron shows up this early in the thing. No way.
No. He's this season's big bad, and I believe he's a fallen elf, which would make him another original character.
He looks like a dark elf, or maybe not a dark elf, but like he looks like an evil version of an elf.
You can't say dark elf anymore.
Oh,
you have to say pigment enlightened. No.
In D&D, they call the place to live the Underdark, so like an Underdark elf.
An Underdark elf.
The Underdark is the underground.
I'm a black elf.
But Alan, we are going to get to that. We are absolutely going to address that. Your rage right now. When we're done with Lord of the Rings, we will talk about D23 and everything going on there.
It's your fault. It's all of your fault. All you scoopers, you fan theory people, you ruined this expo for yourself, and I'm not going to let you not be accountable.
We got to get into that too. Nori is the only Hobbit worth this. Yes, I like Nori's storyline, although it is like I said, it's friendship is magic is the moral. Where she's just they're like, why were you nice to him? And she's like, he was a stranger who needed help, and they're like, bad Nori, and then she's the only kind one.
There it is. Matt just dropped it. Dagor Dorgrath. Can't pronounce it. But that's the apocalypse scenario and Tolkien's story.
What I hate about fantasy. And so here's the thing. Star Wars, at least when they have names, they're not hard to pronounce. You can tell Lucas just took a bunch of syllables and threw them together. It was like Jar Binks. You're like, okay. Like, it's so simple. Galadriel, like, what the hell is that?
Yo, but it's right there with Star Wars, man. People actually speak that Elven language the same way those Star Trekky weirdos speak Klingon. I said it.
Yeah, or now people are talking. They speak Valerian, High Valerian. That's an also language that you can learn. And actually, I gotta say, we're not gonna talk about it, but I'm saying in House of the Dragon, I love it when they speak High Valerian to each other. I think it's very believable a language, right?
Well, yeah, it was because whenever I won't say whenever. Sometimes when the showrunners and the creators actually care about something like that, they'll base the made up language on a language that people can like use a dialect coach or a linguist coach. Like you have to be consistent. So the words you use, it can't just be like no Pentecostal tongue speaking. I'm on this
speaking tongues while they dance with the snakes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if we were anti-Pentecostal. I was already anti-Presbyterian earlier in my earlier stream.
Right.
I gotta chill with all this. So are we ready to jump into D23, or you got more thoughts?
I just got one last thing in regards to Rings of Power. So Adar is obviously, I think, going to be the not the big bad, but I think he's going to be the first level boss in this. I do think we'll get a reveal for Sauron, and I am saying it now. I would be extremely upset if the visitor, the Rocket Man or Comet Man, is Gandalf, but I wouldn't be upset if it was one of the Blue Wizards. But I don't see how they're going to do that. I don't see how they're going to pull that off. But
so it would definitely. I think that would be the thing that even I notice. I think is jarringly against canon that he would be Gandalf.
Yeah.
Because Gandalf was late to the game, wasn't he? He was supposed to be late to the game as far as
at the beginning of the Third Age.
So yeah, how is he going to be here in the Second Age and be the hero there? That makes no sense.
Well, I guess like crescendo of the Second Age, Third Age would be the thing.
But it's just not his time.
Dude, and they're building fucking Mordor. Now, you and I completely disagreed on this. I think them building Mordor is a great plot mechanism for this story because now we're going to see whatever treachery, because he's going to have to wipe everyone out in the Southlands, right? Not everyone's going to get out of there.
But my question is, where is Mount Doom?
So, okay, I'm glad you asked that because you were talking about in a review. Yeah, they're moving towards it, and I'm glad Matt is here. I can't remember, Matt, if in the book if the volcano was active before he got there, or did he use his power to activate it? To create the smoke so the orcs can dwell in peace, basically, as it were.
Yeah, away from the sun.
So, and that's great stuff. I'm the type of guy who enjoyed Thanos' quest. Everyone reads Infinity Gauntlet. No one likes to read how Thanos got the damn gems in the comics, and I'm that guy. I enjoy that.
Oh, Lainey called it. Lainey should be in the writer's room right now. Lainey says, nah, Nori will end up the leader of the Harfoots, and she'll be the one who talks them into staying at the Shire. That is absolutely going to happen.
I like that.
Yeah. Well said, Lainey.
Very good job. Very good job.
I love when people speak Elvish.
I'm going to start speaking Elvish when I can't afford to pay the bill at the diner.
We should speak Elvish. We should have a stream that's just us speaking Elvish. Or I'll speak Klingon and you can speak Elvish. People will just watch the shit go.
Like one view. That's what it got. One concurrent view. Yeah. All right, I'm ready to get into D23.
D23. So first things first. The internet gave us so many rumors, and when we mean rumors, we mean blatant lies about how cool this thing was going to be.
Yep, you all thought this was going to be the next 1968 civil rights rally, that a bunch of black people were going to come out on stage, change everything.
And there we go. You're free. You're free. You're free. That did not happen. We're still in chains. We're Puerto Rican.
Ariel has been freed. She's been set free.
She has been set free to mixed reactions to the world. Apparently, a lot of people feel a way about a black mermaid.
Yeah. I was having a conversation with a close friend in regards to the Little Mermaid and why I am not for race swapping a character of that level. But after having this conversation with a person, you know me, I'm an open-hearted type of person. While disagreeing with you, I can
say that again.
Open heart. My heart.
You're open-hearted.
Yeah, I have a big heart
to other people's ideas and feelings.
I respect you for being wrong, right? I respect that. You are entitled to your opinion. Does not mean that it's correct, though.
All right.
But, after this conversation, I could see how this could be important to some people. Not a big deal for me, right? Not a big deal. It's not the type of representation I'm looking for. I've always been an original character type of guy. I want that type of representation. I want Icon to not be the black Superman, but I was more interested in Icon being a Martian or wherever he came from that was in slavery, right? Some superior race that decided to be voluntarily enslaved to understand the human experience more.
Right.
I loved that. You know,
that's amazing. You're right. That is amazing. Icon is beyond being a black Superman. You're right. You shouldn't just try. Yeah, I'm tired of them trying to do the black Superman thing. Just have black heroes of their own. You know, you don't need a Superman when you have a Black Panther, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He's
a much richer character, much richer. Look at Blue Marvel. That is an amazing story. Adam,
I'm sorry, man. I gotta say, I know you're against it, but Denzel would be a perfect Blue Marvel.
If he was younger, yes, 100%.
Blue Marvel's an older dude, though.
He's in peak physical shape. He's got big
CGI muscles. This CGI shit. I
want to see that shit.
Oh my god! Basically, you want an older black dude who happens to have stayed jacked.
You know there are other black actors besides Denzel.
Let's face it. Actually, you know who is actually jacked and keeps himself in amazing shape? Idris Elba.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to give that role to a black Brit.
You have all these requirements. I mean, that's neither here nor there. Let's stick to D23. Okay. I don't care about whether it's a black mermaid or not.
Right. Now,
I don't care what a mermaid, like, who cares?
Right. But let's see. So Little Mermaid, let's start here, right? Friday was the Game Expo reveal, right? So here are the rumors we were dealing with. And I was trying to tell people, I was just telling people, do not expect a reveal for Spider-Man. Do not expect a reveal for the Wolverine game. You're not going to get any of that stuff. What we got was a more fuck it's this game, man. What is the game, bro?
Midnight Suns. Midnight Suns. I saw.
Midnight Suns. Yes.
I saw a very unimpressive gameplay trailer
of Midnight Suns.
Yeah, and I was not impressed with what I saw in gameplay.
Yeah, it's a card-based, turn-based strategy game. You have to be into that type of stuff. A lot of people wanted it to be free to play, and this is where your memory's short, right? I told you when the first Avengers game came out, I enjoyed playing it. I just knew there wasn't a lot of content. I didn't have any issue with the game other than there's not much content here. There's, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So we got more of that. We got a few other things, Toy Story games, et cetera, and then the big reveal for the games in regards to Marvel was another Marvel original game for Black Panther and Captain America in World War II era. Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
So no gameplay footage. Obviously, it was all cinematic.
Everything is before. Yeah, if everything is just not ready. This is what I felt like. In terms of the entire expo, almost nothing was ready to be presented.
Yeah, no.
They were just hopes and dreams at this point.
Yeah,
cinematic trailers
don't count.
They just don't count, and they don't realize that real gamers don't like that.
No, in fact, it deters us from that because then it
means something's up.
Yes, it means the game's going to be delayed, and the Wolverine game is not even in development yet, as far as I know. They released a cinematic on that. The new Spider-Man game, which Insomniac, shout out. They did a great job with Miles Morales in the first Spider-Man game. Now this is going to be 2-player, and Venom may be a playable character. I just knew they weren't going to reveal that. This is going to be a big game for Sony and Marvel, and they're not going to reveal any gameplay on that at a thing like D23. In fact, I would say Sony's going to want to do that at one of their expos.
So I do agree with Matt right here. It doesn't matter. Little Mermaid is going to suck. All live-action Disney movies suck. I agree. I have not yet seen one that has impressed me in any way.
Pinocchio, they tearing his little wooden ass up.
And that's, you didn't even mean to make a metaphor for that, because we all know it's a metaphor for a sex doll.
Oh, I don't know if we all knew that. I don't think that's from my mind.
Why does an old man want freaking like a real boy?
He's a lonely old man. He wants a son. He missed his boat in life.
You mean a lonely old man should wish for a girlfriend or a wife?
Maybe he just wants to raise a child. Maybe he's just like, you know what? I watched this Kevin Samuels video. I can do better on my own. I'm just gonna make me a little wooden boy.
Oh man, you are so naive. You are so naive, brother. I swear, Mantis wants Blue Marvel with an air tank. Yeah.
He does. That's what he wants. He wants Blue Marvel, arguably the second most strong character in Marvel, to be fucking on the respirator.
So Princess Bex says that she believes that this remake, speaking of the Ariel, Little Mermaid, will be better than all the others. What do you think?
Again, I'm not here for it, right? I'm raising 3 boys. I watched The Little Mermaid when I was a kid, and I remember my stepdad looking at me like, huh? And then he put Bambi on so I can watch the scene with the mother getting killed. And he was like, that's life, son. I doubt that any one of my boys are going to see it, so I don't care about this, to be honest with you. I want to see more footage other than her singing in the water. I want to see.
Well, really, honestly, the thing that impresses me the most is the mermaidness of it, and from what they show, the tail and the way it moves looks really well done. Yeah, that's the kind of shit that impressed me.
Right. Now, Chloe's got an amazing singing voice, so that's one thing you're gonna get. You're gonna get some beautiful singing in this movie. That's what you are gonna get.
Right.
That's
Cruella was great. Cruella. Here's the problem. It had already been leaked to me that they were like, if you notice, the Cruella movie is the exact same plot as the Joker, and I don't know if you saw it, but it is the Joker.
Oh, wait, is this another one of their revisionist history thing where the villain?
Yeah, Cruella de Vil, the villain from 101 Dalmatians. They do an origin story of her in the 70s in the fashion world.
Yeah, high fashion. Yeah,
and it is literally like all the major plot points is the same movie as it's the exact same movie as the
Joker.
Cruella is the same thing as Joker.
So where were all the pink hair feminists talking about the lonely volatile man and no excuse? Same thing has to go for the fashionista, right? I didn't watch that. I did hear that they tore the lore apart, that her jacket wasn't in fact actually made of Dalmatians,
which completely ruins the character.
When you think about how grim that is, that's right up there with Animal Farm. Remember when they take the horse away in Animal Farm in the book and in the animation, they drop the glue off afterwards?
Yeah. Wait, you know how you were telling them a metaphor, like a joke about your son. You're like, this is what watching Bambi's mom die is the real world. That's what I'm all about, man.
Right.
We need to keep that. We need to keep that grim shit in there.
Yeah, man. My stepdad would make me rewatch that scene and the one with the quail. That's like, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here.
Because there are people in the real world who make coats, like cool coats, out of like dead dogs.
Yeah. So back to D23.
Yeah. Matt says, "Oh my God, Mantis! My 6-year-old daughter said while we were watching Pinocchio that Geppetto should wish for a wife so they can have kids." Exactly. You should honestly. You're an old man. You should wish. You're like, I wish for a 22-year-old wife. That's what I would wish for.
Wait, would you whittle yourself a 22-year-old wife?
Probably, if I couldn't get one. And then a magic cricket is gonna freaking turn her real, so it's all good at the end of the day.
So that was Friday at D23. Lackluster in regards to the games.
Cruella was the shit, but they want to make another one without Emma Stone and put in Taylor Swift. Is that true?
Oh no! If they do that, they got to make her the evil Cruella. Like they got to do the. Oh my
God, she should be the dog eating bitch.
So here's the thing about Taylor Swift, I want you guys to know that she is the ambassador for New York,
even though she's not from New York and has no connections here,
which is typical New York.
The Fox and the Hound. You're right. That is typical New York. Like everyone who runs New York, it has nothing to do with New York.
Hold on. That was a profound movie, The Fox and the Hound, and in fact, I believe there's a little controversy there about some of the commentary, or we would say the meta commentary that was going on in The Fox and the Hound back in the day when they released that. Same thing with Dumbo. I didn't watch the Dumbo live action, but some people said it was great.
I thought it was garbage.
You didn't have those damn crows singing, right?
They had everything. No, they didn't have the crows, but I'm just saying they didn't have. Here's what it is: there were crows, but they're not a bunch of black guys singing doo-wop.
No, that wasn't doo-wop. Don't ever confuse it. That wasn't doo-wop. Yo, I can't remember. Was it Mowgli or the Jungle Book remake where they went gangster, where Shere Khan shows up? Whichever one Idris Elba voiced Shere Khan, he shows up to the wolf pack, starts talking to Mowgli's adopted dad, and then bites the shit out that wolf and flings his ass off the rock. My son was like, "What just happened, Dad?" And I was like, "Life, son. Life."
Cruella in musical form featuring Taylor Swift. She couldn't even act or sing well in Cats. Yeah, no, F that. She's a horrible actress. She's a really bad actress.
Oh, I haven't even seen that yet.
So we're moving on to Saturday. And so by Friday, I had already lost faith in this expo. I was like, this sucks. Nothing's going to premiere.
But again, I didn't lose faith in it because they never gave any inclination that any of the games that these people were speculating were going to be released. All these people with their inside sources, I'm talking to you, Grace, and all these other gamer channels that were like giving us these things. That's on them, bro. If you know games, these games aren't in development yet.
Oh, wait. So if I could even move on, I continue on Friday about gaming, and I got this. I really got this to say because this is what irritates me.
Go for it.
So it seems that all these companies constantly ask, why do they outsource? They're like, why do we outsource? We'll make more money if we make it indoor, in-house. Why do we outsource? Make it all. We'll make our, like Marvel was like at one point, they're like, let's make our own movies. Fuck this. Anyone can make a movie. Okay, let's make a movie. And they're all just doing it, and everyone's trying to streamline their company. But the one thing these companies don't get to do right is make video games. Marvel is incompetent at making video games, in my opinion.
No, that's and animated films as well.
Right. And for some reason, they don't have it. And Warner Brothers is great at animated films, but I don't think either of these companies are great at making games. They should go to true gaming companies and say, please take my characters and make them amazing.
So I would disagree in regards to Warner Brothers making games. They have made some great games that you have played and enjoyed, right? So obviously you enjoyed all the Arkham games, right?
Arkham and Mortal Kombat games. Okay.
Yeah, and also I'm a big fan of Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, also Warner Brother projects as well, and all the stupid fighting games and shit like that. But I agree with the Marvel thing. At this point, Marvel should be looking to buy Insomniac, right? Stop doing business with everyone else. Insomniac's your guy. Their representation of Spider-Man is the best representation of Spider-Man.
They've earned their place, so pay them their money and then
pay them their money. I do, and I believe Insomniac's making the Wolverine game as well. So at least we're moving in the right direction. Why would I outsource to other companies when there's a company that can handle it? Right? They can do it. It's like oh shit. Honorable mention. I forgot to bring this up. You like Grand Theft Auto 5, right?
Oh yeah.
Did you see the goodbye fucking letter from the studio?
No.
Yeah, they thanked everyone for all the love and support for GTA 5 over the years. One of the longest running games.
Running is crazy.
And yeah, it was
PS3.
Yeah, it was their goodbye letter. I meant to send you the post, and they were just like thanking the developers, thanking the
shutting it down.
Well, they're not shutting down the servers, but I have to assume we're going to be getting to that. Not the servers being shut down. I know some sweaty gamers,
but like support is really ending.
Or they're moving on. We're going to get GTA 6. Right? It's about fucking time. But let's move on to Saturday. Go.
So finally, we get actually the stuff that we're talking about. And Shaolin, if you're still here, man, we love to talk about it because they dropped like several trailers coming out of Marvel, right? Several actual trailers in which And then some announcements once again as they talk about projects. And so I guess let's talk about Thunderbolts first because that's what Shaolin really wanted to get into. Cincy, what up?
What up, my guy? What up, my guy?
So they announced Thunderbolts.
Yes.
Did you hear about the whole Thunderbolts?
Yeah. So where you want to start with what was speculated or what we got?
So what we got, I want to start with that because that's okay. And then we'll talk about why they failed at what we got. Right? Okay. So they're gonna go with Taskmaster, and as we all know, out of Black Widow, everybody hated that version of Taskmaster. That was an insult to Taskmaster, who's a great villain. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know what the fact that they want to keep that going is just delusional. They are not in reality if they think that's a viable character. And then U.S. Agent. I actually love U.S. Agent.
Good job.
We all
Good
knew
job.
we all knew he was headed to the Thunderbolts.
Good job.
We all knew this. And then they're gonna have Winter Soldier.
Well, he was a leader of the Thunderbolts in the comic.
He was, and he's actually, out of all the people they have here, he's one of the few people who was actually on the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
The question is, in terms of plot, I just don't know how they're going to get him on the Thunderbolts because he's not a criminal anymore. He's actually, like, everyone loves him.
Right.
So then we're Yelena, Black Widow 2. We all knew that was going to happen, right? Then we've got Red Guardian, her dad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's a joke character.
Yeah, comic relief, and they need a strong man.
Right, and then they have Ghost.
Yeah, now that was the one that caught me off guard, right? And Val, obviously Val.
But I mean, I think she's obviously not a real adventurer. She'll be like,
she'll be there next year,
or whatever. Yeah.
So a few places I want to go with this, but let me let you finish your thought. Go ahead.
Well, my thought is that it's whack.
Okay, so not the greatest lineup, right? It is Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad if you're not up on the Thunderbolts. So we got to ask ourselves a few key questions. Who's at fault here? Obviously, Marvel gave us a dud of a lineup. But how did you all think that they were going to pull off Thunderbolt himself, in which the group is named Thunderbolt Ross, named after the general that had been chasing after the Hulk?
Yeah.
That man is dead. That actor is dead. Right.
So, I do have a theory about this. They're not going to recast him, I don't think. And I think what they're going to do is they're just going to name him Thunderbolts because it's obviously a government thing, and they'll say we named it after General Ross.
Yeah,
his
it was
nickname.
his project. It was his project.
Yeah.
That
works.
I like to see the Abomination in there. The thing. So I agree. The lineup sucks. The question is, who are they sending them after? That's the real question here. Who is this team going to be taking down? They're not going to send this ragtag group of super soldiers in a phaser after a character like Doctor Doom. But it has been confirmed that the leader, the actor who played the leader in the Hulk remake, is coming back. I think
he's coming out for Captain America, right?
Yeah, Captain America: New World Order. I think he's going to be the perfect B-level villain for them to be going after, or that insane group that he was a part of. It was like a bunch of smart people on
the intelligentsia. Yeah. Which is just made up of all super smart dudes, including the Red Ghost and randos like that, and MODOK, my man MODOK was in there. I love these guys. Yeah, MODOK. But no Baron Zemo, no Abomination. Yo, honestly, Falcon Winter Soldier set us up for him to be in the Thunderbolts so much. I feel like betrayed and a little angry right now.
Why do you feel betrayed?
Because I've been living a lie. For starters, I don't know if you know. One of my big comic book hard-ons is Captain America. I love modern Captain America comic books. There's no better comic books than Captain America after the year 2000. Like in the 2000s, Captain America has been amazing. And so I love Baron Zemo, and the fact that he's not on the team that he was one of the founding members of, is driving me nuts right now.
Right, and they don't have that tactical leader, right? Yelena, Bucky, these people can't make plans. You need a vision.
Straight up, the reason why Bucky doesn't have the shield is he's a thug. He's a white thug. Like, he's just like too stupid to be like, Captain America's like, I know you've been here longer, but you can't be Captain America. All he knows how to do is kill, right?
You're more.
Yelena ain't no strategist. I don't get that either. So I take it we're gonna talk about the comments made by YouTuber X.
Yeah, sure, let's get it.
So YouTuber X said speculates that this is really Black Widow 2. They're just naming it the Thunderbolts, and that really the whole point of the movie is about Yelena being Black Widow. That's why they put her. And I hear what she's saying, because why have Red Guardian? He's the most wasted character. I just don't get it.
I'm not disagreeing that could very well be their motivation. I'm just saying I'm not here for it. Obviously, I'm going to go see it. I'm going to watch the movie because there's still an opportunity for Zemo to be in the movie. He could be the X character that we don't know is in there, right? Like, they could somehow sneak him in. But I don't care about Yelena enough to have her have a story arc, right?
Yeah.
And I'm really trying to figure out how this fits into the multiverse saga. So I'm trying to build the story. Where are they sending this team, this ragtag team of assassins? Because that's what they are.
Right.
Who are they going to assassinate? Now, people are speculating that it's going to be Doctor Doom, and I just don't see how that would be a viable option. Like, the last time a street level character went after Doctor Doom was the ill-fated attempt by Moon Knight, where he got completely wrecked.
Yeah, no, like basically, I don't know who. I'm not even going to begin to speculate who they're going up against. It could be any. You're right. It could be the leader. It could be Doctor Doom. I don't know who it is, but I'm just saying, like, from the team that they have, they're all one note, right? They're all like super soldiers, not very specific powers. They're not well received. People don't like Ghost, and people don't like this version of Taskmaster.
Which sucks, because that actress that plays Ghost, I really enjoyed her in that movie, and I enjoyed her. What's the video game movie that came out, man? Not Big 22. You know the one that fucking came out where they have every video cameo that could ever be made. It was about a virtual reality world. Never mind.
Ready Player One.
Yeah, Ready Player One, man. She was in that, and she played a side villain. I think she's a great actress, man.
Yeah, but they did nothing for her in Ant-Man 2. They did.
Oh,
nothing.
no,
they did not have.
It's so much potential.
Wasted villain. Maybe this is their way to redeem her. Maybe they're going to give her a bigger part.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like not having the Abomination and not having Baron Zemo. I absolutely agree with Shaolin. Those are weird. That's a weird pick.
Well, it doesn't follow the formula of a team, right? You need a strong man, you need a smart man, you need a thief, right? We're going D&D here, right?
Right. So you need your leader, right? You need your Cyclops, your Cap, right? So that would be Baron Zemo. You need strong man, Abomination, right?
Right.
And so you need your stealthy person, so that'll be Ghost, right? Mm-hmm. You need the person who is the opposite of what the whole team is about, like a Wolverine, like the anti-hero. And since they're all villains, it would make sense. Winter Soldier. I guess Winter Soldier would be their Wolverine.
He's their moral compass, yeah.
Right, when they don't have it. But I just feel like Taskmaster, I don't know. Yeah, Taskmaster and Red Guardian are the big weird picks, in my opinion.
So here's the thing, man. And I know this is not true. Just remember, keep me on the record here. You were talking about them redeeming Ghosts. I think they're going to really push hard because Marvel does this where they're like, no, this character's good. Let us try to do it again. Now, I would like to see if they have the balls to do this. What if, and would you accept this? This is for Matt. This is for Shaolin. Everyone here. What if it turns out it's not the damaged young lady in a Taskmaster suit? What if they bring in Taskmaster proper?
Oh my God, that would be amazing. Well, you know what they could. You know why they could do that is because remember the Taskmaster thing in this was a cybernetic implant. Yeah. It's a mutant power in MCU, but in this it's a cybernetic implant. So technically you could insert it into anybody's brain.
Yeah.
So you're right. I would love it if it is not the woman, because well, you know what's really stupid about the movie? There's many stupid things about Black Widow, the movie. But I'll say this, that they have a villain who is, when you look it up, is played by a man. It is a male stuntman playing it. And at the end, they're like, who is the Taskmaster? And the dude goes, takes off his mask, and it's a woman. And they just put like they put some skinny Russian ballet girl in there who could not possibly fill out that suit. And they're like, oh, all this time it's been a chick. And I'm like,
we got you. No. Yeah, the team, it's not a good pick for the team. I am going to go check it out. I think that they really missed an opportunity if they don't have Zemo in here one way.
Zemo.
We're talking about the guy who took down the Avengers with words and planning and plotting.
Yes. And so there's two things I really think they failed. I hate it when Marvel fails to commit, and I feel like if they could commit a little better. And there's two things they failed with Falcon and the Winter Soldier for Zemo. Zemo is supposed to have a scarred face, and he's supposed to be Super Soldier.
Yeah.
And I totally thought by the end of that series that, remember how they kept talking about would you take it if you could? I had a feeling he was going to get infected with it by accident.
Or he was just going to make the decision that the only way I can compete with super soldiers is to become a super soldier. And I would have been here for that. Clever writing can make a lot of things work really well. That team sucked. Thunderbolt sucks, right? But here's the thing that a lot of people some people are speculating about, and I'm not jumping on a bandwagon, but we'll do some speculation here. So another person they think they're going to go after, we've been wondering, will this character win after the end of the show? A lot of people think they might be going to reclaim White Vision.
Oh, I actually would not be against that. White Vision's got to pop up somewhere. And where are they going to put this dude, right?
And it'd be great because here you have a character where it's not like a villain that we don't believe is going to be, you know, that they could beat. It's White Vision. They somehow bring him back to the team, but we'll get that scene where we get to see Ghost and here's Ghost and Vision phase fighting. But let me ask you a question: did White Vision phase at all?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. All right. So I think that would be a great pick, man. Now I want to move on to some other stuff here. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
For Black Panther.
Black Panther.
There is no footage you can look up. You can't find it on the internet. Disney will have you killed. But apparently, it has been completely confirmed the identity of the Black Panther. If you do not want to know, drop a 1 in the chat if you want to go into the movie blind. But it has been.
If you don't want us to address this, because I don't know, but I do want to know. So I'm going to put a 2 in chat.
If you don't want to know who the new Black Panther is, drop a 1 in chat, and I'll give it a second. We can move on to another topic.
But I didn't realize that. You're saying it got spoiled by accident.
Yeah, it got spilled because they released the new footage, and that was exclusive to D23. And it's been. I'm just waiting on the actual trailer to come out, but it's been confirmed who the new Black Panther is, and there's going to be some fallout over that, and I'll give everyone a chance to. We can circle back if Mantis remembers to remind me. Right. We'll circle back to that, and then so we got that. Obviously we didn't get that shit, which I was pissed about all the exclusive shit going on for D23. Like you had to be there. And poor Campia didn't get it. He got his press pass, and he didn't even get to go into the event.
Why?
So apparently, whoever was liaising with Campia, he got his press pass, and they did it a different way this year, where there was reserved seating for the press, and he didn't get one of the reserved seats. But they were like, "Hey, there's open seating, right? So there's the general pop, and then there's standby press seating." And they told him to be somewhere at 9 a.m. for the standby press seating, and you don't have to go through the main line. He gets there at 7 a.m. thinking this is an appropriate time for standby press, shows up 9 a.m. The doors open. He's like, "Hey, I'm here for the standby press line." And they're like, "Oh, you got to get into the regular line, but it's closed." He's like, "No, but I have the email. The person told me." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, sorry, they were wrong." So John Campia didn't even get to go in and see all the.
Oh my God. Shows incompetence on how they run the thing.
Yes.
Yeah, because they want their press in there. You don't want the press not covering your thing.
Did you guys see MODOK, and what do you think? It looks horrible.
Okay, so wait, hold on. I'm going to defend it. And so I'm a huge MODOK fan. Here's what I'm saying. Have you seen the image of MODOK?
Mm-mm.
So basically it's a robot. They made it all robot. Okay. And so I understand, you know how the MCU has to streamline everything? I understand why they don't want a man with a giant fucking head and a baby's body in a fucking chair going, meh. I understand. I get that.
Right.
And so they're making an entire AI. It's a floating head AI.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I'll give you that, because that's a hard sell. A dude who has a mutated head that's fucking 2 stories high, like,
and he's got a Caesar cut,
and a Caesar cut and a baby's arm, and the baby body is the craziest part about the whole thing.
I know all these people back in the day were doing opium when they were writing these comics, man. They
were high out of their gourd, man. The crazy shit. Remember, read comics from the 60s, your mind will be fucking blown. You're like, these guys were seeing crazy shit, man, and smoking crazy dust.
So let's get into it. I'm still waiting to see if people want to know who the new Black Panther is.
You can't defend that. You can't be a MODOK fan and defend that. I can, because I understand. Here's what I'm saying. If I was making a movie, I would make a way to make him believable. But I understand why Marvel doesn't have the time for this, and they're like, well, how do we make MODOK? I'd rather have MODOK than nothing.
Right.
You know what the worst thing they could do?
What?
Is if they're like, let's have MODOK in it. It's cool. And it's just a regular dude in a suit.
Oh, that
would be offensive. That would be offensive, right?
It's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. Right, I'm MODOK. I'm like, no. they cast a young hot man. No, fuck that shit. But it's a giant head, and it's freaking out. It's floating chair. I'm into it.
Okay. So My train of thought. Let's talk about the other trailers that we got. Yeah.
Okay, so other trailers that we got
Yeah.
is, of course, we got Secret Invasion. What were your thoughts?
Okay, it's not Secret Invasion. It's espionage with Nick Fury. So once I walk into that, it's Winter Soldier 0.1, and I'm gonna enjoy it just for that. I think it's gonna be a good espionage film. I think we all want to revisit the days of when we went to go see Winter Soldier and we were just blown away that we got such a great spy movie with superheroes in it. So I'm here for it, man. I thought the acting in the trailer looked great. I felt the tension of what the Skrulls can bring. I'm sorry, you're not gonna get a half-naked green Elektra on a fucking top.
A green Elektra getting an autopsy table, like an alien autopsy or something. Fucking, I love when he reveals I love when he reveals that he's a Skrull, and then like he looks at Iron, he's like, huh? And he just pulls out a gun and shoots him immediately. Like, yes, so great. We're not gonna get any of it. Infuriates me. However, let me get. You know what's so funny? There's so much power in the name, and I'll give you an example of this.
Okay.
If someone were to show me that trailer, and they were to say this show is called Nick Fury and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I would say that's amazing.
Right.
I will stand this. But when somebody's like, this is Secret Invasion, suddenly just the title being different, I go, that's not fucking Secret Invasion. What are you talking about? Because really, it looks like a really good espionage. It looks like a really good thriller, and Nick Fury's being the man, and I'm into that. I'm totally into it. You know?
You just made a very good point for the first time ever.
Okay.
I would love for them to redo Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I watched that show faithfully with Mrs. Holdup. At a certain point, I was just watching to see how they were going to land that shit, and they did an Avengers light ending where it was time shenanigans, you know what I'm saying? But you're right. If that was just like, hey, Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right? I'd be here for it. But the problem, it's the name, right? People would associate it with that fucked up shit that we got on ABC. Maybe they should have just done Nick Fury, like Cold Files or X Files.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. The fact that they're using
the gonna be good, man. I think if you can just divorce yourself, you did it with Infinity War, right? You did it with fucking Infinity War. You knew good and goddamn well this wasn't going to be the Infinity Gauntlet saga.
So check this out. Talk about superhero fatigue. When Infinity War came out, I said I will catch it on DVD. And so I didn't go that opening weekend. And then Monday morning, I was in the office. This is when I worked at Sports Club, and the other managers came in, and they were like, "Yo, Mantis, did you see it?" And I said, "What?" And they're like, "Infinity War." And I was like, "No." And they're like, "Yo, you didn't?" And all day long, they would talk about it, and they'd look at me and go, "Oh wait, shh. Mantis hasn't seen it." And they would all be talking about it, and then like the trainers would come in, and they're like, "Did you see it?" And I'm like, "I'm the only motherfucker to see it." So check this shit out. Finally, like when I was done with work, I said, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go by myself." And I just and I found where the local one was, and I took a bus and I went to go see it. And when I don't drive, I don't have a car, and so as soon as it was amazing, it blew my mind. It was like, think about it. At the end, people are getting dusted.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's an insane thing. That Doctor Strange fight, there's so much insane stuff happening in that movie. You have to forgive it, even if it doesn't fulfill. And then at the end, when I leave, there's no buses running. And I was like, fuck it. And I walked 3 miles home.
Oh, a whole 3 miles. I'm sorry.
It was it was night. It was late, but whatever. Okay. I was so high from the movie. I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter. But you have to forgive Infinity War because who cares what its title is? It's amazing.
Bro, I remember calling you because I had seen it by 4 times by the time I called you so we can talk about it because Movie Pass.
Movie Pass.
I think Secret Invasion is going to be a great espionage and an interesting interpretation of what's going on. We're obviously going to get a lot of Skrull shenanigans. Who's a Skrull? Who's not a Skrull? And I am going to be able to divorce the fact that because there was a lot of stuff that happened in the comic too where I was like, what the fuck? Who gives a fuck if Mockingbird is a Skrull? I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about Elektra.
But, my favorite was the original Captain Marvel. He comes back a few months before it happens, a few issues before it happens. And then everyone's like, well, he must be the Skrull. And then he's like, well, if I was a Skrull, why would I immediately come now? So obvious. And they're like not sure. And of course, he turns out to be a Skrull.
Like, good point. But it's gonna be interesting because there's some things we need to know. What's Nick Fury been doing up on that spaceship with Skrulls? Is there a Skrull civil war? I think this is gonna right the wrong, not the wrong, but it was an interesting take in Captain Marvel to make it kind of like the Skrulls are this oppressed people group, and I understand why they did that, but that's not what it is. The Skrulls,
it's annoying, right?
They're historically evil, like to the core. There's a few good ones. Wait, hold on. That sounded bad.
You're a credit to your people, Skrull.
You got it.
You're not some illiterate thug like the rest of your people. Good work.
I think it's gonna be good, man. And your girl's back. Your girl from Game of Thrones, man. Emily Clark is back. You can finally swoon and open again.
No, you know what I really like? I'm a big How I Met Your Mother fan. And so Colby Smulders is back as Maria Hill.
Yeah, the woman I like seeing inserted into the woman Josh Whedon inserted into the MCU.
Because he had a big old crush on her. I wonder if he hit that.
Probably not. It would fit the fucking.
Who knows?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. Moving on.
Wait, hold on. Matt says, do you know who Olivia Colman is? By the way, she's from The Crown.
Yes.
She plays the queen in seasons 3 and 4.
I know.
I don't know who she's supposed to be playing. I would love to know. I think enough people have not put ones because they want to know about this Black Panther thing.
All right, so this is still in scoop territory until the MCU says it, but it's Shuri. Shuri is the new Black Panther, and she's going to be playing a major role in the MCU moving forward, taking up the Black Panther man.
That's what I would prefer. That's what I would prefer.
I would prefer that too.
Although, wait, somebody pointed out to me, like, if I really, really could do whatever I want, I would make it a Okoye.
A lot of people were campaigning for Nakia and Okoye. If you're gonna use the argument of comics accurate, then you give it to Shuri. She only had the mantle for a short while, and that was obviously during the new Avengers run. I think is when she finally lost it. But yeah, Shuri's supposed to be the new Black Panther. For all you Michael B. Jordan lovers, no, he was not resurrected as far as we know.
It makes no sense. It would make literally no sense if he was resurrected. Yeah. That's like out of a CW show or something, right?
That's Arrowverse shit. That's rookie shit, right?
Yeah, and I don't want the man ape. I don't want the white ape fucking becoming him either.
Baku?
Yeah.
He's gonna get, so that was another part of the reveal in the trailer. They showed the fight scene, a portion of the fight scene between him and Namor. I'm telling you, he's gonna be fucked up
or killed, right?
Yeah, if you follow the rules of anime and comics, if the character is jumping in the air towards the bad guy, he's about to get caught by.
You know what it is? It's the competent guy jumping to fight him. That you're like, because your mind is supposed to go, oh, don't worry, he's got this. And then when he gets sunned up, you go, oh, wait, he doesn't have this. Right?
Yeah. No, that's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Matt says, I knew it was Shuri. Lainey says, yep. And
Matt. Please tell me you were kidding me right now. A gender swapped Captain Britain? So she's going to be Jamie Broderick, as in a female version of Jamie Broderick. I will lose my effing mind if that's what's going on.
Well, hold on for a second. You know that the captain, the Britain Corps, those guys are like the and women and birds and frogs. They are like the defenders of the multiverse in Marvel Comics. Yes. They have been for quite some time. So there have been quite a few different Captain.
No, but
I'm just saying, man.
You're just trying to piss me off right now.
And technically, Carter in the Multiverse of Madness was a swapped gender bent Captain Britain because
right.
She had the Union Jack on her shield, but.
I mean,
go back. Matt said I heard she was supposed to be the Black Panther for only this movie, though. That it'd be interesting to see how they do that. I just want to throw this out there.
Keep switching the Black Panther. That's stupid. They need to pick one and go.
How mad would you have been if they did resurrect Michael B. Jordan and did a redemption arc for the Killmonger character? And I just want to point something out. In the original source material, Killmonger migrated to the greatest fucking place in America, Harlem, USA. He even addresses someone He's like, I know you from Lenox Avenue, so he's not.
I hate. If there's stories I hate more than anything, it's resurrection stories. It's got to be a really good resurrection story,
Right?
Because here's what I'm saying: if you resurrect too often, what happens is the threat of life and death is meaningless, and that's what the ultimate prize is. These heroes might die, and if that gets taken off the table, then what's really the point of watching this?
Oh man, when Thanos flung Gamora's ass off that fucking mountain, I was like, that was amazing.
And you know what? I'm okay because that shit, the way they avoided that is they didn't resurrect her. They did some time shit where it's before she was killed is running around, and I'm like, okay, I'll deal with that. But if they just start resurrecting everyone, I'm just like, come on,
So here's the thing, man. Here's what we need out of Black Panther, right? So we know we're gonna get a beautiful send off for T'Challa, right? We're gonna get some stuff with Nakia. I would not be surprised if they sneak in there that Nakia is with Child. If you don't know, that Nakia is his love interest from the first movie. Actually, she's a villain in the comics.
I think they're gonna take. Honestly, I think strategically they're gonna take away that betrayer role of hers.
Yeah.
Because people won't be able to deal. Here's what it plays harder if she's with Black Panther at the time.
Yeah.
And now that that's off the table, they're like, that's too much. It's too much.
Yeah. And no, I agree. It would be too much for the the Black Panther fan base to handle. But that's what they revealed for Black Panther, right? So they showed the fight scene. We got some new trailer. They brought Ryan Coogler out. He addressed some things, and Shuri's our Black Panther allegedly moving forward. We'll see how that plays out. Anything else on Black Panther you want to touch on? Because at this point, I think that Black Panther is going to be what the MCU needs, right? I think we're all in agreement. We don't need any jokes, right? We need a serious, somber tone movie. I'm really looking forward to more shenanigans and evil behaviors from King T'Chaka, which I always thought was a brilliant portion of the story that they added in, that King T'Chaka was an honorable king, but he was honorable in regards to protecting his own people, which means he was okay with being dishonorable in regards to other people. So I'm still leaning in that King T'Chaka had something to do with Namor's family home being
This is why I'm against narcs, because basically here's the deal. All rulers and all people who run governments and stuff, you gotta be grimy on some level. It's not my job to challenge T'Chaka. You know what I'm saying? Like if he wants to be grimy, he's kind of grimy. He's like, I had kids all over the place. I left them in Harlem. What? That's his business. He's trying to run a country.
Speaking of abandoned children, we got Mando season 3.
Oh wait, before we do Star Wars, we got to do the last Marvel one.
Okay, my bad. What's up?
Well, this is the weird one. This is gonna be quick. Werewolf by Night. Did you see it?
I saw the trailer. I loved it, man.
I loved it too. I loved it,
man.
A lot of people hate it because they don't understand it.
No, one person hates it. Every person that's actually got a brain and reads comics and doesn't take themselves too seriously actually enjoyed the trailer. They
shouldn't take themselves so seriously. Like, what is this? It's a Halloween movie.
It's fucking Werewolf by Night. It's fucking Alyssa Bloodstone and the Bloodstone Foundation, man. I thought it looked great.
I think it looks great. They're really playing into the cheesy horror nature of like 70s comic books.
Yeah.
The idea of like a Werewolf by Night. It's so funny that they would even adapt that, but at least they're keeping it cheesy. It is a Halloween special, so we don't have to take it seriously.
I'm upset with you.
With me?
Yes, I sent you a movie for your channel.
Kurt.
Channel. Yeah.
No, I am going to review that. I'm going to review it this week. Here's what I was going to do it this weekend if there weren't any reveals, but they dropped so many trailers. I've been skipping the line. I've actually recorded a review for it.
Did you like it?
I did. I really loved it. I've recorded it. I just haven't edited it because I realized I had to get the trailers up first. That's the problem with events like these. They screw your whole shit up.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the Werewolf by Night trailer, and I think it's gonna be good, man. I think it's gonna be a good time, right? I'm actually the lone person that seems to still be enjoying She-Hulk. I enjoyed this last episode. I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious that dude was reading that book, Bad Feminist, waiting in bed, and just like every male feminist, he woke up, looked her in her face, and stopped believing all the bullshit he told her the night before. That was fucking
love that. Yo, ladies, supposedly there's a rumor Cavill will be playing. Everyone's been saying that for years. I do not think that's who he's up for. If he's up for anyone, I think it's Wonder Man. I really do think it's Wonder Man. But like, there's so many rumors that he's either playing someone for the MCU or still doubling down on being Superman. I don't know what the truth is. Are all these people lying?
Matt, we're talking about the Cursed. It's on Hulu. It's
The Cursed. Yes, it's a werewolf. It's a werewolf movie.
So yeah, so before we move on to Star Wars, let's talk about all the shit that we didn't get, right? So we got
to understand style. He understands style because he's into
an intelligent man. He's not some psychopath that can't admit when they're wrong, when they're fake scooper who's themselves got something wrong on a prediction.
Speaking of the Mandalorian and people who do that, right? Like,
hold on. But before we get to the Mandalorian, just real quick, all the things we didn't get. So Denzel Washington wasn't there. Esposito wasn't there. We didn't get we got the reveal for the Fantastic Four director. We didn't get a Fantastic Four cast. That he wants to have the input of the director, right? There was something else that got revealed, but we didn't get any Deadpool. We didn't get any X-Men. We didn't get mutants, anything of that nature. No new Blade footage. Nothing. None of that shit. None of it.
No Boyega. Like, when people were saying that, like, when it's getting closer, they're like, Boyega's going to be announced as Richard Rider, Nova. I was the original Man called Nova. I was like, yes, that's a good casting. And then they don't. Nothing comes of it.
I'm hearing that Daisy Ridley started that bullshit rumor.
I bet she did. She's not going anywhere in the world either. Her career is done. They used and abused those poor Star Wars kids.
Chop them up and throw them in a box. Okay, so Mando season 3. Great trailer.
Utterly amazing.
Amazing shit.
Utterly amazing. That is just insanely amazing. I love it so much. Every moment of it. What are your favorite things about the trailer, man? I feel like Mando does it so right.
So we predicted this at the end of the previous season that, you know, he's going to go to Mandalore. He's got to get to the wells to be redeemed. There's going to be the tension between them. I like to call them the true Mandalorians, not the cult, you know, and right. He's going to be dealing with a lot of that. You know, he's still going to be dealing with the repercussions of the sword. And I think that was represented in the Darksaber. That was represented extremely well in this trailer, man. I'm glad that the baby Grogu saga is coming to an end and it's just dad and son, right? And we're just going to get more of that dynamic. And I'm glad to be returning to Mandalore, man. There was one thing I did not enjoy about the Mandalorians in Star Wars Clone Wars or even in that show that came afterwards, right? There's no way you're going to have me believe they wiped them all out. Right? It's not feasible, right? Because then what the fuck are we still doing with this story? Who gives a fuck if he has the Darksaber? There has to be people still on Mandalore. There has to be a sizable amount of them.
I think they're scattered across the galaxy. I think he's going to reside. There'll be some on Mandalore, but I think there's other places he has to gather them together.
Well, there was fucking water in the trailer. The planet's supposed to be crystal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like there was fucking water. I thought it was beautiful. This is an amazing trailer. This is the shit that Kathleen Kennedy fucking cries about at night. The fact that she can't do this, she can't get this part right. Fuck Andor, man. I don't give a fuck about that show.
I don't really fucking care about Andor. I'm gonna have to cover it, but I really don't want to.
Matt says he wishes Grogu was in the season. I was kind of leaning there too, man, but I'm actually looking forward.
I agree with Matt.
I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do with Grogu in regard.
He came back too soon. They should have given us maybe not the entire season, but give us at least half a season without Grogu.
Hey, there's fucking merchandise that needs to be sold. You fucking communist. You shut your filthy mouth.
He was gone for no time at all. Then it was like, "I'll leave. Goodbye." He's crying, and next week he's like, "Grogu, get in."
Yeah, because Luke is a simp. Why would that kid want to stay with a guy that's clearly going to fail?
Yo, he's going to succeed because we all know the sequel trilogy is non-canon.
Oh no, it's canon.
No. I
thought the trailer.
I refuse to accept it.
That's why we should retcon it, man. I think all of this is going to lead up to Kathleen Kennedy being sacrificed at a spirit cooking event with Beyonce, and they're going to instate Favreau as the new Lord and Master of Star Wars and lead us in the right direction. And I think Mandalorian is the only thing keeping that franchise alive.
I just want him to keep Mandalorian good. Let it go like 7 seasons in a movie, and I'm good. Like I don't need him to be distracted. He has work to do, important Mandalorian work.
I agree with that. And it's also because we're off the linear line of the Skywalker saga, right? You had said this recently in one of the reviews. You're like, I want to see something different. I don't want more Skywalker stuff. And I'm glad Grogu's here, and I'm glad Luke's out. No offense to all the Luke lovers, and no offense to Star Wars Theory. That story has been told. I'm ready to lean into this story.
I really do think they could make a Luke Jedi Academy series where they have, Luke between Jedi and the sequels, and see like exactly how that came to. I think that would be a very good show. But I hear you. I do think of that secondary. I'd rather see other characters right now.
Yeah, it's, and that's why I'm a little mixed with this reveal for the new Star Wars Shorts animated show. Right? Okay. I'm gonna watch
Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi. I'm gonna watch
after a comic book from Dark Horse back in the day. I used to love that comic book.
Dark Horse repping this motherfucker. The comic you didn't let your parents know you had.
Yeah, that's what Dark Horse was great at, man. Yeah, that was like an indie comic book back in the day. You know what I mean? But it wasn't really, but it was like kind of.
It always had great illustrators too. Like their superheroes were badass. I'm here for it, but at the same time, it's like, okay, Filoni, like. You got anything new for me? You got anything without Ahsoka in it? You got any stories you want to tell?
That's the thing. Like, I'm actually not that gassed about the Ahsoka series. I noticed no trailer for that, and I'm kind of happy because it's just him reliving his glory days of the cartoon, and I don't really need that.
Right.
And I'm fine with Ahsoka being a side character in Mandalorian, just like I'm fine with Luke being a side character in Mandalorian.
I mean. I want to know what happened to Ezra. I think there's a story to tell there, but we're moving forward, right? I mean, all roads lead to the horrible trilogy sequel, but we're moving forward.
Yo, I gotta say, I do not have Rebels back. Everyone keeps trying to convince me that it's solid. It's not solid.
No,
There's a lot of crap in that series.
There's a lot of kiddie fluff, but there was a transition in the show. Right after Ahsoka fought Darth Vader, and I think that's the episode that hooked me in, where I was just like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, no, that was a great fight. It was a great fight.
I want to see, and then Thrawn. That's who I'm here for. This guy is one of the most menacing characters since the Emperor. I love a good plotter and a schemer. I would like to see how that's represented in live action. In regards to this show, Tales of a Jedi, I don't know if I was that terribly interested in Dooku's background.
I am, because I feel like we know nothing about him, and I can't wait to see. And he's gonna have a friggin' young Qui-Gon, and I love the way they animate him. He really looks like a young Liam Neeson.
I know, but okay, so the Yaddle fight scene. Right?
I don't know what's going on in there. I need to watch what the plot is. I don't even understand.
He looks too young to have defected then, and Yaddle was alive when he was old and he defected. I know he left the Jedi Temple at a certain age, but she was still very much alive when he was
Yeah, they're not necessarily going to kill each other. For all we know, they're practicing, but I think it's interesting.
Okay.
I can't wait to learn exactly. I don't know what kind of adventure young Dooku could be on, but I can't wait to see. And so here's what I'm saying. Here's why we want this to be successful.
Okay.
Because this is right now the first one. It's going to be like the first. They're shorts, but they all equal one story or two stories, and the two stories are, a story about Dooku, young Dooku, and then a story about Ahsoka, right?
Right.
But if this is successful, we get other seasons. We could get young Mace Windu.
Well, we do have a young Mace Windu in there, right? And
but I'm saying, like, we could get a plot totally about him. We could learn more about Mace. I'm all about that.
I'm just not. I'm okay. I'm not in a place where I'm like, Okay, yay. I'm maybe once I watch it and I see what stories we get. This is one of those things where I wish they would release it all at once. I don't want to go through a week by week with fucking shorts, man. Just give me all this shit.
If they're shorts, yeah, no, F that. Like drop more or whatever.
I'm not trying to sit around every week for a 20-minute show, which I'm currently doing for a show that's on Disney Plus, which upsets me greatly.
What, She-Hulk?
Yeah. What else?
This week is going to be Daredevil, so just be happy about that.
I'm happy about it. Obviously, you heard that Cox came out and said that this is not a season 4. This is something new. So now we're getting that.
Yes, he admits that this is going to be a rebooted Daredevil.
So officially, that whole shit from Netflix has been decanonized, and we're going to be getting a PG-13 Daredevil. How do you feel about that?
Did he actually say PG-13?
He didn't say PG-13, but they're not going to make it R.
They have to make it a hard fucking R. I want Daredevil freaking hanging people from the roofs. I want him killing school children in the name of street justice.
Street justice, the only justice.
Matt says, I'm excited for Tales of the Jedi, but I wish it wasn't Ahsoka and Dooku. Like, focus on Kit Fisto or Plo Koon. Yes, absolutely. I think right now we have to go through the obligatory deal with Ahsoka plotline, but other seasons could do this. We could end up getting that, and I'm into that.
See, and that's the problem. We just can't let go of Anakin. People got to see their fucking sexually charged interactions between friggin' Ahsoka
and him. I'm telling you, the sexual tension, man. They might as well be David Targaryen and Rhaenyra.
I cannot believe we're not talking about it. I understand. Like, this episode was pretty good. It's pretty good.
It was really good, and like it was a different type of good than the way Lord of the Rings was good this week. But they were both good. I was happy with both.
What else did we get revealed at D23?
I think that's pretty much the majority of it, right?
All the important shit, right?
You know what? They didn't have enough for us. I think that's it.
So, okay. Now that we got all that bullshit out the way, let's talk about big YouTubers getting their fucking channels struck and fucking getting their streams taken down
over Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
So apparently somebody at Marvel was not doing their job, and they did not protect people from that. And so you know, I was putting up videos of the full trailer with audio,
right?
And then when you do it with the Secret Invasion, you're immediately struck down. It's like crazy.
Is that what it was? Was it Secret Invasion? Because I know
Secret Invasion they were shitting on, and like it's like somebody didn't protect that for some reason. They didn't do the right. They didn't fill out the right paperwork or whatever the hell it is. But it's amateurish and it's stupid.
It's YouTube, bro. It's YouTube, and our options are Twitch, where you say the wrong thing and you're done for, or YouTube, you accidentally play something and then you're done for, and it's fucking
both. You play a fraction of a song and they're like copyright infringement.
So I think that content creators that actually make this platform watchable, right? I think YouTube thinks that people actually show up for the YouTube originals. No one gives a fuck about that shit. No one cares about that shit.
Yeah, nobody likes YouTube originals. What we need to do, honestly, let's everyone listen to me, all three of us, and let's all go to Rumble. Guys. Yeah, I guess no one's going to Rumble.
That. I don't know if I could deal with the 720p. Like right now, we're streaming in 720p because I'm sure settings not enabled. But Rumble, I don't know, man. I don't know if the ground is fertile enough for us.
Yo, Laney, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced the episode is ruined for you. You need to see the episode to understand what's going on there. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think anything was ruined for you today. But yo, I'm just saying, let's all go to Rumble. Who needs quality video when we can say whatever the fuck we want?
That's a good point. Or you can build a website and just host your videos there.
Like a fucking loser. I don't want my own website. I want to be on a fun app that lets me have freedom of speech. Honesty and Rumble lets us have free speech.
We were supposed to be doing Fanboy After Dark on Rumble. That's still, that's still an option. We can fucking.
I don't know. Are they going to take? Here's the problem. Are they going to take our rights away? Or are they going to be like, no?
See, you're talking about
these videos are.
You're talking about fucking freedom of speech. Rumble is like, yeah, you can say whatever you want, but we're gonna own the content.
We're gonna own the content. And we might throw you some pennies here and there.
Literally a penny.
You know, like what's his name? Andrew Tate is probably starving right now because he doesn't make enough off of all those hits he gets.
No, he got the bag. They paid him to be on Rumble.
They actually paid him a contract.
Yeah, they gave him a contract, man.
So that's what we need to do. We need to do something braggadocious so that we get the contract, that Rumble money.
We got to go full black conservative, man. We just fucking turn this thing on, fucking explaining why we love the Confederate flag. I guarantee 1 million views right there.
We'll have the Confederate episode next week. I just can't dive in and swim. I need to work my way up to this.
Gotta build you. Gotta lube up for it. Gotta get ready for the. Yo, another great episode. I had fun. D23, a resounding disappointment for all the people that built it up to be something that D23 has never been. Right? I can't think of any time where it's been like a huge reveal or anything that's met the scoopers' minds. I don't think Henry Cavill is coming to the MCU, right? I don't think Denzel Washington is going to be in the MCU. I don't think fucking Esposito is going to be an X-Men. I think they already have a methodical plan mapped out for everything MCU that they're going to do with it. And I'm also making another prediction.
Somebody clip this.
I'm also making another clip this shit. I'm making another prediction, man. Star Wars: The Acolyte is going to suck.
Because of SJW-ness?
Just because I don't think they're going to be able to tell the story that they're trying to tell. I think the Kathleen Kennedy,
they do not have the balls to do it.
Yeah, I think she's trying to relive that moment in Rogue Company where Darth Vader shows up, and I don't think they have the storytelling chops.
They don't. They do not know how to go dark. They did the opposite of dark with all these other shows. So I feel you in that. Matt says he'd go to Rumble with us. That's what I like to hear.
All right, we got
Rotary. There we go. But I think that is it for Fanboy this week, and I think it has been an amazing episode.
That's it. Folks, you know what's going on the Hold Up TV Monday through basically Friday. Something going on great. I don't know, tomorrow night we have Dumbing Out is coming back. There is no conversation, but I do have something special coming up on Conversations. I'm currently talking to you. Would only care about this if you're a hip hop head. I'm actually talking to Mike G from the Jungle Brothers.
What?
And he's agreed to come on to
How
the
did
show.
you manage that?
I grew up in the same building where he lives. So I saw him one day when I was dropping my mom off, and I did what any fucking bottom feeding podcaster does. He's like, "Yo, what's up, Steve?
Hey, man, what up, bro? What up, bro?" He just looks over. He's like, "What?" So I do this podcast
in the basement. So I'm trying to work that out, man. And we got DJ Cincy Star doing his things now. Request Box will be on Sundays, and Fufu Fridays still being on Fridays. Pillow Talk will be taking the Thursday slot, and all our normal program shows as per use.
There you go. There you go. So I think you just did all your shout outs and plugs. Of course, Fat Mantis still doing his thing. Mothership Monday was a huge success today. It was amazing. And of course, I'm still doing brunch with Fat Mantis on Twitch and Green Room at 11:30-ish a.m.s. That is Tuesday through Friday. And of course, Wednesdays, we've got ourselves Rogue Planet. I got a very special guest for you this week. Motherfucker's got it. But other than that, I think we've had a really good time. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and keep tuning in. Join the Discords, hang out, chill, whatever, chillax, hunt us down. We're worth being obsessed with.
Yeah. I need stalkers.
I have too many. But until next time, ciao from motherfucking now, bitches. Holler. Oh yeah, lady says it was fun.